Good evening. Welcome to Cryptid Crunch. I am your host, Will Schuyler, and yes, I am very much in the dark, just like Keisha. But never mind that. We are going to be discussing our favorite made-up conspiracies and just discussing about random things. We have another host for you guys to meet, so let's get to it. All right, so let's bring up Keisha. How are you? I love the Minnie Mouse ears.
Due to copyright issues, these are just mouse ears and a bow.
Right.
So, oh gosh, we're already getting questions about the new host. Okay, so let me preface the show with, so most of you that watch this show or listen to this show know I am currently pregnant. And I am going to be taking a little bit of a pregnancy leave or whatever you want to call it. So we were able
Rest assured, it's not my kid.
Are you sure? I feel like
I don't know. It just seems like we've known each other for 2 years now. Is there like a transference thing?
It is. That's how this works on this show, okay? So we did end up getting another co-host to kind of help out while I am gone. So let's bring up
Kale.
Hello. I am Kale, just like the salad. Hello.
And delicious.
I've had kale and salads and stuff like that. Not my favorite thing, but you
just have to figure out your own, like, kale bites. You have to figure out how you like kale. Because I had to learn to like kale.
You could put it in a smoothie with other ingredients that make it more appetizing.
So I make kale chips. So basically what you can do is you can make any type of flavor you want. It could be sweet, spicy, savory. And then since I dehydrate and can and everything, I dehydrate them and make them into like chips. They are delicious. Just throwing that out there. And I also add them in basically every dish that I make because kale.
And it's very versatile. It's probably one of the many versatile veggies out there.
It is.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. So we got our usual suspects of commoners. We got Carl. Good evening. Donna. Hello. Dan. And we even have Grant Lankard. Hello. So might as well just jump right into it because I know that by the time 9 o'clock rolls around, we're not going to be on the same subject. What kind of weird what if stories have you thought of over the years, like? And one of my fun stories to fall back on every so often is the fact that I don't believe that we're alone in the universe. Obviously, aliens, but I also believe that aliens from all over the universe has dropped their unwanted onto planet Earth, and hence why there's so many different cultures and like buildings and stuff like that we can't explain why or how they got here. What do you guys think? Kind of like Australia, where we used to drop off prisoners onto Australia.
That sounds like something the U.S. would do, not Canada.
Europe used to do that with Australia, just drop off their prisoners and unwanted thieves, and they ended up making their own country.
Right. I don't know about containing passengers, but according to the Pentagon, they did release evidence that there was a mother ship that could transport and release other baby ships, baby UFOs to Earth and transport them here from other galaxies. I don't know if you guys saw that that in the media released recently.
I did not, and now I have to go down that Yeti hole.
So it stands to reason, Willow, that if they transport other vehicles and vessels from those galaxies, that there could be travelers.
Okay.
And I just totally picture, Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord zooming through wormholes, but there could be passengers that, yes, get left over in those vessels. Could you imagine you're just in alien space driving in traffic and you just like get zapped?
And then poof! Like, this is not where I was planning to be.
Why isn't Bill here for the 10 o'clock presentation? Like, what happened to him?
And that totally explains like weird Mandela effects too. Like I swear something has happened, and like there's other people who know that something has happened, and nobody else can explain why it doesn't exist in our in any proof. Exactly. Why or how it happened.
So speaking of the Mandela effect, and like I don't know if I can just tell the future or what. But my entire life, there have been things where I'm like, I'll see like a movie trailer or something like that, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember watching that movie like when I was a little kid. And then my husband's like, it doesn't come out until next year, and I'm like, no, like I can tell you exactly what it's about. What do you mean? It's not.
I've had that happen too. Like certain things have happened.
I can remember it happening.
Yeah. The weird deja vu effect. Yeah.
Yeah, and it happens all the time to me, and I'm like, either I can tell the future, or I'm going crazy. We know I'm crazy. Okay, crazier.
Well, like, I know I've had conversations with my husband, and it's like we'll have like the repeat conversation, and it's like, I swear we just had this.
So
like, word for word, I swear we've had this.
I have that with my husband all the time, but I think he just wasn't listening the first time. And then while I'm repeating myself, he's like, we've never talked about this. And I'm like, yes, I can tell you how you're going to react to the whole thing. And he'll be like, that's just because we've been married too long. And I'll be like, well, either way. But yeah, I think that's just a guy thing. Forget that we have conversations.
I like Grant's comment here. I sometimes wonder about the Truman Show conspiracy. Like, yes, do you guys ever feel like you were put on this earth to just entertain people, and everybody else around you is actors, and like, I don't know, you can do like...
I mean, story of my life. No. I actually don't know what the Truman Show is, so don't hurt me.
No, it's about a guy who was born into say like a reality TV show, and everybody around like the whole world around him is created just for him.
I like it.
Everybody around him are actors.
That show sucks. I'm just throwing that out there. Can I have another? Please.
Yeah, no, it like there are times where I do feel like there's certain aspects of my life that is just like, I swear to God, it's scripted or something.
Right? I feel like we do have, I don't know. Do you guys believe in manifestation? Because I feel like we have a lot of power over what actually can happen. Because there's a lot of things that I'm like, hey, this would be cool, and then it happens, or this would suck, and then it happens, and I'm like, well, I manifested that one on myself.
I hate when and this happens way too frequently for me. I don't know if it happens to you guys, where I think of someone, and Grant has said a variation of it where he thinks of someone and it's like, oh, I should check up on them, and they call like 5 minutes later. I think of someone and it turns out that they died.
Well,
or it's like I think of the person and then they die like the next day, and I'm just like, I gotta stop thinking about these people.
yes, Willow, please, I give you permission to not think about me.
So yeah, unfortunately that happened to me the other day where I'm just like, oh, I wonder how my friend Scott's doing, and then I found out that he had passed, and I'm just like, thank you, Facebook, for not telling me about this. You know?
I've went to actually message people before, and then I'm like, oh, well, that's depressing. Because I used to, it actually happened just recently. One of the ladies, so I used to be really into this stuff called Arbonne, which is a vegan, all naturally, it's basically me crap. But the person that used to sell it to me and stuff like that, I was like, man, I really wonder how she's doing. And I went to message her and I never got a reply back, and I'm like, well, that's weird. So she had passed away a little while ago. I was like, oh, well, now I messaged somebody that's no longer here. I'm glad I didn't get a reply, but because I would probably freak out if I got a reply. But yeah, like, we should stop thinking about people.
Unfortunately, it happens with celebrities too, where what was it, like the day that Brittany Murphy died? I literally just IMDb'd her the night before.
We've got some comments.
Yeah.
Just a couple.
Apparently that's my superpower, and I really don't want it.
Willow's superpower is kind of evil. Super villain sounds more accurate than super
unintentional villain.
That would suck. Carl
just going up.
said Kale will soon realize what she has gotten into here. That's right. So we have.
Don't worry. You'll soon all realize how crazy I am as well.
We have no tracks at all. So, well, like, we have tracks, we just never stay on them. We're like, hey, this is the thing. And they were like, what was the thing again? Yeah, so good luck with that. Also, thanks, Dan. I don't know if that's a comment or not. It says, Keisha is weird. Why have I never noticed? I'm good at hiding it. No. I guess.
Somebody has to decide who lives and dies, and doing it without knowing it, that sounds just like... Okay, that kind of ties into the other strange belief that I came up with. And it's I honestly feel like there is a serial killer in Hollywood currently, and way too many weird happenstances with celebrities passing away. Recently, one just died of natural causes, and he was 60 years old. I'm sorry, that's kind of hard to believe, but
because in my family, it's cool if you make it past 40s. So, like, natural causes in your 60s, that sounds like a good, healthy life to me. But no, yeah, a lot of people have been died. That is pretty sketchy.
And like
It's been the last couple years. It hasn't just been like recently. I feel like there's been one for the last couple years, and people aren't noticing it because it's so randomized.
And I mean, like, and I think it started to feel that way when Grant Imahara died of brain aneurysm. And I'm just
no
like,
idea who that is.
Grant Imahara was on Mythbusters.
Oh, okay.
He died of a brain aneurysm, and just part of me just like feels like no, just no.
I don't know who that is. We've got a new commenter, and I like their comment.
Oh, Lefty Lucy. Serial killers are made up by the CIA in order to clear cases and scare the public. That's an interesting.
I think the government basically
conspiracy.
plans like half of the crap that goes on. So I believe it. I don't trust the government just, like at all. That's why I live in the middle of cornfields, in the middle of nowhere land, because
as far as the Black Dahlia, I don't know if it was actually. I don't know. I can't say she was killed by a serial killer or not. I haven't really delved too deep into all that stuff, but I don't know.
I actually do follow along the lines of Eli's comment with a league of I don't know about a league of Hollywood hitmen, but I believe that they are being paid to be taken out at a certain point because of information they might have. Like I don't know if you looked into Coolio's death recently. There were talks that he had information for some higher up Hollywood elitists that tied them to human trafficking, and he was going to release that information, and then all of a sudden he died. So
I believe that
an organization, the Illuminati or whatever we want to call them, whoever the higher ups are that control everything, that plan to take
I've gone down that Yeti hole so far. Like, there's people that believe that the people on top are like lizard people, but then there's also people that are like they have these special rituals where they go to these special places and only the elite fancy rich people can get into, like if you're famous. And generally those are the people, when they start talking out is when they start disappearing or dying of different causes. Yeah, I've spent a lot of probably way too many nights going down that Yeti hole of I should not be here at 4 o'clock in the morning, but I am.
Exactly.
I like Donna's comment here. I wouldn't be surprised, considering there are like hundreds of serial killers operating in the U.S. alone. And you know what? It just like Heath Ledger, the death of Heath Ledger. If you look into his story and find it, the housekeeper calling another celebrity before she even called the police to let them know that Heath Ledger was passed, it just blows my mind. And then it just there's something interconnected with these celebrities that are passing away, just and them coming up as natural causes or drug overdose. Seems really, really weird to me.
My hope that all of my favorite ones that have passed, like a couple years ago, when so Kale doesn't know this, but my future husband was supposed to be David Bowie. I don't care how old he was. But so like my hope is that he was trying to expose the whole thing, and that's why he ended up, I know it was technically because he was sick, but that's not the point here. I'm hoping that it was because he was like one of the good guys that was trying to speak out against people, and that's why. Because with all the conspiracy theories running around in my head, like I want all the people that I like to be the good guys, okay? I don't want to think they're bad, so they're gonna be good guys in my brain.
Right.
Kale, what about you? Is there like a weird conspiracy theory that you've thought up or maybe you've read about that almost has a ring of truth to it, just not sure how things are pieced together yet?
I don't know. When you put me on the spot like that, I just don't know. I like Carl's comment when he said that people die every day all over the world. You just hear about the celebrities. That sparked something that I was thinking of when Keisha was talking. Israel Keys, he was a serial killer, and he hid his kill buckets all over Illinois, Indiana, the Midwest, all the way down to Florida. I don't know if you heard about his case.
Oh,
so that's one that's always intrigued me, that you'd be out hiking one day and you just find one of his case kits somewhere in the random. He would hide like a gun, a knife, some money, a fake ID, whatever he would need, because wherever he would be, he would just hide, and he would like watch a runner or a hiker. And if he was in the mood to kill them, that's when he would strike.
Okay, so as somebody that considers themselves a kind of prepper, because I believe the world is basically doomed and we're all going to heck. So yeah, that actually is a good idea.
Oh no!
I have a go bag
now.
So I have a go bag ready for if anything happens, and it's got like stuff in it that I probably can't say online. But if I hide them randomly around the place, that way I'm like, dude, if I have to get out of here, I have one over there, I have one over there, and I have one over there. And way down in Florida, because my mom lives there, I'll be like, Mom, put together one and put it in your basement or something. Florida doesn't have basements. I don't know, an attic or something. But that's a pretty good idea. I'm just gonna have random like kits all over the place. Oh, you guys, there's so many times this week that I will probably be put on a watch list of some sort, because the things that I have been Googling or talking to my friends about, I'm on at least several watch lists. Especially since yesterday, my kid, who is a 13-year-old boy, got into trouble at school.
Uh-oh.
You want to know what he got into trouble for? Playing with Rubik's Cubes. So he goes to a private school, okay? They sent out a PSA to all of the parents and students saying that they are banning Rubik's Cubes at school because he was playing with them during school hours. And I was like, I messaged my best friend chat, and I was like, y'all, my son's school needs more crime. Like, apparently there's not enough drugs or alcohol or like stabbings. And so I was like, okay, I put school, crime, stabbings, and a couple other things all in one message. I was like, yeah, I'm on a watch list now. So if you guys
and here's why Keisha doesn't plan the school bake sale.
That's not the point here. I did take all of their classes to be a school thingy mabobber. So now I'm on a watch list.
I feel like Eli T. Cash and Grant need to work together on a comic or something. Yeah, I don't know. I'm reading some of these comments, and I know you guys do. Like, a lot of the people in our comments are writers and comic book writers as well, and what you guys could come up with for comic books could keep us busy for the next 20 years, I'm sure.
We're getting great comments in here, by the way. Oh, there's a lot of comments. We have to
we're writers. All of us are on several watch lists. You know what? What I research when I do some writing is pretty weird. I can go from researching, apartment blocks and how much they cost to meat grinders. So,
Speaking of meat grinders, today, when I was looking up something, a lot of people have known that we've talked about this in prior shows, but Kale's new here. So there is a vegan form of human flesh that you can buy and eat to simulate being a cannibal. And today I was trying to look up, let me see what it was. It was I can't even remember, but like edible uses for borage, because I'm planting it, and I was like, okay, good medicinal stuff, and I was like typing in edible, and then all of a sudden edible vegan flesh pops up, and I was like, oh yeah, forgot about that. So
That's amazing. We have to order some and try it, right?
we discussed that. We said that we need to order it and then have us try it on the show and be like, y'all, this is what human flesh tastes like.
Yeah.
Because, that's normal. It's vegan, so I mean.
It's like tofu, but it's people, so it's tofu, right?
No, it's literally tofu. No.
It's literally a tofu. A dead man's toe. Dead man's toe.
See, are the people working on that the same people who work on those jelly beans that taste like earwax?
Oh yeah.
That is a game that is horrible to play with on the human mind.
The comments. Dan said, I never considered it to be edible. Actually, my uncle tells me that if anybody ever becomes a zombie, the first person you're going to want it to eat is the vegans, because they're the closest to grass-fed that you're going to get. I love my uncle. He concerns me sometimes. He also collects guns, so I mean, so I need to move.
When the show gets canceled, can we look back at this night and know why? You know what?
Guys, this is going to be maybe my last show for a while. I need to make it count. I need to get on some sort of watch list.
Facebook wants to monetize me, folks. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite conspiracies that sparked back to the celebrity talk was that Queen Elizabeth was dead for a really long time, except they deep faked her. And then finally released it later for the political reasons. Like they did to Philip Seymour Hoffman at the end of Hunger Games. They used his footage to finish the rest of the movie. They call that a deep fake when they use their previous faces to do the digital overlays. So they were saying every footage that you saw of Queen Elizabeth for 3 months prior, she was dead for all that time, and they were faking everything.
You know what? I kind of feel like you should ask her son.
I don't know. There's a lot of footage of Queen Elizabeth that could be done. It's a weird one, though.
She hadn't really changed much in the way she looks since she was 70, so...
Really. I know.
Yeah, she's looked dead for a really long time, basically.
even her own mom, she lived till she was 103 or something like that, and yeah, she seemed like she looked the same for many years as well. So you know what, that could be plausible.
It's crazy what they can do with the technology, though, with copying those videos and some of the fakes that they put out there. They can make it look like anybody's saying anything.
Have you seen the filters that they have on TikTok right now? They can literally make you into something pretty. Like,
Yeah.
like I believe anything. I don't believe anything now because I'm like, there's this new like glamour.
Oh, the
thing.
one that makes you look like a teenager?
No, so I look the same when I use that. I don't know if I'm like a very young looking 31-year-old or what. But like when I use that, I'm like, well, maybe it's because I moisturize. Moisturize, everybody. But like what I actually posted a video on TikTok. For those of you that don't know, I have TikTok. It's awful. Don't look at it. But I actually posted a video of me using that one, and it like I was waiting for some big reveal of, oh, this was what Keisha looked like when she was a teenager. No, I looked the freaking same. I was very disappointed. But there is this one that makes your skin like glow and your face all like perky and all this beautiful makeup, and you can't tell that it is a what do you call it? A filter.
Deep thing. Oh, okay.
Like, even if you like cover up half of your face, like it doesn't show up on this side, it just shows up on this side, and like it makes it look like my forehead isn't this big, my eyebrows aren't from the 90s kind of thing, and I'm like, that's not me, but I believe it.
Yeah.
So I don't
Eli, it's awful to look at it spoken like a true TikTok user.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Yeah, we've got a
I'm
random
seeing that we have some comments in, popping up that I'm keeping an eye on them. Don't worry, guys.
There's some weird comments coming in.
My favorite filter is on Snapchat, and it makes you look like a shrimp. So,
so I don't have. I'm apparently too old to have Snapchat. I don't have it, but I imagine I would make a cute shrimp.
I only use Snapchat for some of their filters to make my cat look like an anime character. So.
Exactly.
Oh my god, how can you tell it's a weird comment on this show? It's when we react to it and don't post it up.
Yes. We have some, I'm just going to call the person V in the comments. Love me long time. So, oh, sorry. Also got a new comment that says Keisha is a cute shrimp. I'm not a shrimp. I'm 5'1.5".
So you're a hobbit.
So,
yes. Oh, speaking of hobbits,
this is my shrimp.
Hi, sweetie.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, she wants to talk to you guys for a second. I apologize for anything she may or may not say. Can't see.
Hey!
Hi, Dolores.
Ow! Ow! Take this off. You're working on
Okay, that lasted long. So
what else do you guys got?
thanks.
Any other interesting conspiracies? Oh,
So,
what's up, Dolores? Want to tell us a story? Want to tell us a story?
here.
So, any other interesting conspiracies or thoughts that you may have there, Kale? Or okay, let's dive into this. What was your favorite cryptid?
Oh, so I get really heavy into Mothman and the Flatwoods Monster. Definitely anything in the Appalachian area. That's my favorite.
Okay. And explain. I don't know if I've heard of the Flatwoods Monster.
Okay, so Flatwoods Monster was in the 60s and kind of like UFO. You actually should know about this if you're into like UFO territory, because this was a sighting in West Virginia where they thought that they had seen like this huge being with like a beam above its head, and it was glowing red like a spade and had like green big eyes, and people said that it had come down from the sky. It was like these kids playing football in a field, and it's just been this like local folklore legend, and it's been tied to a lot of different conspiracies around the time. I mean, people have tied it to MK Ultra with them like poisoning the water supplies, and people were just going crazy, like seeing things at the time, and everybody just saw this creature and was just trying to gain popularity. Same thing with Mothman at the time. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. There's a museum in West Virginia about it, and they kind of do little touristy things with it.
First of all, from somebody that used to live in West Virginia, them people are crazy. I love it. Like the entire time I was there, I was like, if I ever live somewhere like this might be where I want to live. I fit in so well. But yeah, I can believe that. Did you say what was the thingy coming down from the sky?
The Flatwoods Monster.
Yeah, just like a comet. They thought it was a comet, but then some people say it was a ship, but there wasn't any evidence. But the thing is that there was a lot of time. There was the Men in Black in there at the time. Like the government was in there trying to cover it up. And this was back in the 60s, so you have to think that like they were trying to keep it all hush hush. So it was
back then, people
time.
thought things were normal. Yeah.
Yep. So it's one of the most popular and fun things to like investigate now, because it was such a different time back then.
Okay, I'm gonna have to research this and maybe even look it up for maybe a future show, because this is interesting.
So Mothman, he's one of my favorite cryptids that ties into just kind of other conspiracies, and he's seen everywhere, right? Okay, so he's this made up thing that happened. So he's in West Virginia as well, 50s, I think. Might be getting my dates a little mixed up here. He's just kind of this big 10-foot wide winged man black thing that they see with red glowing eyes. There's these group of 4 people that are driving in a car, says that they're going 100 miles an hour. He can fly 100 miles an hour. So this is his story, right? Everybody's trying to pick this apart. They bring it to the owl theory, that it's just an owl. They just see an owl. But this is my favorite thing. The owl theory becomes spread across all things for the rest of history, right? So we get to the staircase. That's the death of, oh gosh, what was it? John.
Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
No, staircase. I can't remember it. It's on HBO. But she basically, the wife falls down the staircase. She has a bunch of gashes, and the husband says, you know, oh, she fell down the stairs and this is how she died. But they think that he hit her with a blow poke or a blunt object. And then one of the theories is, oh no, an owl flew in the house and the talons, she gashed the head. So the owl theory becomes just across history as this thing that is put to all cases and all things from investigators and psychologists' minds for some reason. Also, Mothman, he's for some reason the harbinger of doom, and he's seen at Chernobyl, Ground Zero. He's seen before the Twin Towers are hit. So he becomes this like ominous symbol that spreads from Appalachian folklore in West Virginia to like all over. So it's even, across the seas. So it's kind of interesting how it grows.
So as somebody who had an owl break into her chicken coop, and I got to play with said owl, y'all, that is not happening in real life. Okay, so last year we had a great horned white owl, white great horn, whatever it's called, break into our chicken coop, and it got itself stuck. It killed off a bunch of my turkeys, guineas, etc. And then it was like, oh no, I'm not smart enough to get out of here. So we had to get it out. And it literally just ate the heads off of things. But that being said, when you catch an owl, they sit there like, you'd expect once you catch the owl that they would be like, oh my gosh, help me. No, it was just like, I'm going to sit here and look pretty. And like, it let us pet it and everything. Cat, look at this thing.
Oh, he wants attention.
Cruella, she just got fixed, and I was hoping it would make her less clingy. No, it did not. But yeah, the owl was like completely cool, and apparently the guy who came out and helped us, he catches owls for quite often. Apparently that's a thing out where we live. And he was like, yeah, generally they're too afraid of humans, so if they get caught, they're like, oh, I'm gonna die now, so I'm just gonna sit here.
Oh,
and that they never
fate.
like they won't actually come back to wherever the human caught them, because they're like, no, I'm not going back there. Human, scary, we haven't seen that owl since. Well, I miss that thing. Other than the fact that it killed all of my animals. That's not a part that I miss.
Going back to the Mothman, though, didn't they figure that if the owl theory wasn't substantial enough evidence, but cranes were?
Yeah, I think the sandhill crane is one of the indigenous species around there that they said could be like up to 4 to 5 feet in height and wingspan, and could match around that. They said that Mothman was like 9 to 10 feet tall, but they were saying that, due to the witnesses' adrenaline and stuff, that their dimensions could have been heightened, or whatever. So the sandhill crane was one at that time that they said could have been one that matched the description. But most of the sandhill cranes were white in feathers. They have like a red, I don't know, it's like a turkey gizzard, but like for the top, and black feathers. But like they were saying that it was all black, so I don't know.
Well, it's funny because even police have mentioned that, people like eyewitness accounts of certain things can be diminished from like the moment that they hear you say something, and then they add information to fill in the gap of whatever their brain is missing. So yeah, seeing monsters, I can see them trying to figure out and fill in the gap of whatever their brain is missing from certain details.
Poor owls, man, though. We got to give them some love because they're just getting some hate and some misrepresentation out there.
I haven't realized since doing this show how often owls are perceived as, evil and like harbingers of death, and it's just like, no, owls are great.
Even the one that killed off half of our flock, my daughter named it Love. It was a male, but that's not the point. His name was Love.
Oh, eyewitness reports are crap.
He loved our animals so much he ate them.
Well, I'm glad that you're not being haunted by an evil owl anymore, but it's now an evil.
Oh no. I'm going to go the opposite and say that it wasn't an owl, it was Mothman. Like, I'm blaming it on Mothman now. Okay, okay, so the mink that is currently killing my chickens off, what are we going to blame that one on? Because, I mean, like, we can't just say it's mink because that sounds too plain.
Chupacabra? Or a
I can
skinwalker?
go with that. Yeah, it's got to be a small thing because it gets in, like, the crevice of our barn door, which is, like, only this wide. So it's got to be small.
Tasmanian tiger.
It's like
wrong
some
country, but it's plausible.
weaselly. It technically is some weird weaselly thing, but we've got to make it sound more sinister than that. Future scarf? No, I'm kidding. I don't kill animals.
No, but you could trap it and send it to someone who would.
No, I would feel too bad. I would probably let it live out its life somewhere safe.
Lizard people.
So, no, they're vampires, legitimately. So I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with a mink before. I doubt it, but you don't want to. It quite literally bites the head off and drinks the blood.
Interesting. I've had a ferret, but that's as far as Weasley.
They basically look
rodents.
like ferrets, but instead of...
Heal it.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting your show. But yeah, basically they're ferrets, but they're generally like black or dark brown. And evil little cute things that suck people's blood.
Carl had said squonk. We're definitely going to have Kelly up for that conversation. She's our resident squonk person. But yeah, no, I don't know. I maybe I need to delve more into the whole cryptids because I apparently don't know enough about evil Weasley creatures that feed off the blood of other animals. How about you guys? How about you guys in the chat? Any other weird conspiracies that you want us to discuss?
I'm liking these comments though.
You don't have to tell me. Was friends with an emotional leech of one. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, ex-wives like and exes in general. Yeah, or
good times, guys. Good times.
It's the mysterious snipe.
Kentucky goblins, aliens that cause a ruckus with some hillbillies in Kentucky.
Okay, as somebody that's also been to Kentucky,
ahead.
So I lived in the tri-state area, which was Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky. Y'all, those people. I mean, yes. I believe anything comes out of those states.
Hey, you know what? Canada has rednecks too, guys, and I joke and say that I'm married to one, and I often said that I was proud to be one, but yeah, I tell you, I'm actually glad to be away from the small town that I came from.
I specifically moved back to a small town. Well, technically, I live in a village. I have literal village people. I moved here for said reasons because I was like, I miss those people, man.
But like, why is it always the rednecks that see these aliens? What's in that moonshine?
Because, like I have to do after this show, I have to go out in the middle of nowhere in pitch black to put my animals away for the night. We see some weird stuff out there, guys. Weird stuff, okay? When you go out, when the cornfields are up, all you hear is and you're like, okay, cool, really hope that's the wind. And then you cry yourself as you're walking to the barn. No. Especially my favorite is when I'm walking to the barn in pitch black and my flashlight decides to go out. And I'm like, yeah, this is where I die. This is, yep, I'm gone. I should probably start bringing a weapon with me.
The monsters like the seclusion. They can pick off their prey randomly, quietly.
Oh no, there's no quiet about it. Like half the time I go outside, I hear crash, rustling of something, and then weird. Like, have you guys ever heard a fox scream? It
No,
sounds
but
like a screaming lady, like screaming for help. When we first moved out here, I heard wailing coming outside my house, and I was like, "Oh my god, that sounds like a woman is getting murdered." And I like
and
being
some people
me.
believe that's Bigfoot.
So being me, I decided to go investigate by myself at night because I'm me. And I was like, yeah, okay. No, I found out that that's what some animals sound like when they're screaming. That's fun. I enjoyed that. But yeah. So that is why things like that happen out here, because first of all, we're not smart enough to stay inside when we hear things like that. And second of all, we're easy prey because we live out in the middle of nowhere. Who's gonna miss us? Like, I could disappear for months and people would be like, oh, Keisha's just locked up with her chickens somewhere, petting turkey and hugging her bunny or something. And people would
I can
believe
assure
it.
you I would check up on you.
I hope so, because I'm going to be missing for a couple months. And by the time I get back, I might not be the same person.
Oh.
So, hey, we got
Okay,
somebody from
so-
Scotland. Sorry.
Yeah, what are you doing up so early? Or I guess it would be, I guess 12 hours, 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning almost. Good morning.
Yeah, I've been up 4 hours at that point. But yeah, good. Oh, yeah. Foxes and peacocks make a sound like help. It's true, and it is eerie, and I don't like it. It's not great.
Yeah. Well, I've heard like bobcats and coyotes wailing out here, and yeah, that like the wildlife in general is very creepy when you hear them from far away. But I wasn't expecting one day coming like taking a walk, and I actually ran into a fox, and it just came like I heard the rustling, and I'm just like, what the heck is that? You know, it came out, and we just kind of looked at each other like, what are you doing here? And I'm just like, I'm just gonna go this way. Bye.
Well, I'm not. I know a lot of the people in the audience obviously don't follow me on social media, but a couple weeks ago, I went into the barn to close up the animals, and I heard this like screeching, wailing something coming from the side of like inside of where I keep my feed and stuff. Me, also being me, I was like, I should probably go investigate that. So I went over and it sounded so distressed. I'd never heard her sound like it before. And I saw one of the feed bags just like moving all over the place. I was like, I should probably get that. So I did. My pregnant self climbed over all of my other feed that was in front of it and behind and everything like that. And I was like, okay. So I picked it up. A skunk had gotten stuck in one of the feed bags that it was trying to steal feed from. And it just looked at me like, and I was like, and then we just kind of gave each other this stare of, I helped you, don't spray me. I told it to be careful next time. And then I turned around and I went and snuggled my turkey. Because That's a normal ritual for me. Not the skunk part, but the snuggling my turkey. Because she was yelling at me from the other side of the barn. And she really likes snuggles. So I went to snuggle her and I was like, please do not spray me while I'm trying to take care of my animals. But I think that's where a lot of cryptid things come from, is animals, because there's so many things that we don't get to hear or experience so often. Because how often do you run into a distressed skunk and think, I'm going to stay near it? Unless you're me. Like, people don't get to hear those noises and stuff, and when they hear it, they're like, that's not of this world, or that's a weird sound. And then they make up some sorry, reading the comments. And then they make up some story to go with, like, if I wouldn't have looked up what fox scream sounds like, I'd still think that there was a woman getting murdered outside by something. I'd probably still live here, but that's not the point. But like, a lot of things can just...
My cats will sound like they're asking questions while I'm trying to feed them. Their inflections of their meow, especially when Rusty says it's time to go to bed, he screams at me and I call him my banshee. It sounds like he's being murdered when he doesn't feel like he's getting enough attention. And it's just like, dude, seriously, my house is really close to my neighbor's house. If I can hear them talking during the day, imagine what they can hear from my cat when he's screaming at the top of the stairs.
Okay, apparently I need to address a comment real quick. James, yes, turkeys are extremely snuggly. My turkey runs to my car when I pull in the driveway, and it comes up to me and it sits down next to me and it's like, okay, you must love me now. And I have to, every night when I close up the animals, she barks at me. So turkeys, everybody's like, oh, they sound like, go, 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 go. No, they don't. My turkey goes, arr, 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 and it sounds like a dog barking. She will bark at me until I go over and I wrap both arms around her and she puts her head right here and she snuggles into me, and I have to give her hugs and kisses before I shut the barn up, or else it's like I'm neglecting her.
You're the emotional support human.
I am. She's such a... I bought 2 more turkeys, guys.
Aww.
On accident. They were cute. I didn't want anybody to eat them. So I was like, you're coming home with me. I'm hoping they're as snuggly as Misty. But yes.
Well, start now. Start cuddling with them now.
Aw.
Apparently you're not the only one who is affectionate towards their turkeys.
My ducks hate me, Eli. So, like, I show nothing but love to them and they hate me. Pinky's not too bad, but Pinky's only like a couple weeks old right now. So she has yet to hate me.
This is an interesting theory. I think your turkey is either a possessed or a reincarnated loved one.
It's a new conspiracy theory. Keisha's turkey is not a turkey. I'm down with that. If anybody kills my turkey, though, I will murder. I mean, I will.
She will go mama bear on you.
Yes. You guys, it's the end of the hour. You know what?
Kale, you haven't left us in fear yet, so I'm guessing you're liking us.
Absolutely, I'm here.
Tolerating,
I'm here for it.
We haven't scared her yet.
Nope. All right, so it's 9:00, and reincarnation should be talked about here. Yeah, maybe another future episode, because I'm looking at the time and we're kind of running out. Okay, so Kale, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Facebook, I guess, because that's all I have right now.
Oh my goodness, she's like a ghost. She
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
I guess I don't know. What do we do here? What do we like to do? Perhaps I'm out of it.
It's okay. I will add you as a contributor to the Cryptid Crunch page so that you can add all your fun little quirky info to that page. And Keisha will do the same. So I know I realize I haven't done that yet. So it's just been me
I am hiding
adding
from the government.
I believe it.
So yeah, guys, I hope you guys like Kale, and she will be a regular co-host with us from now on. Keisha, what are you up to, and what will you be up to in the next little?
Baby out of me. So that's fun. Sounds very difficult. Again, but that being said, I will be MIA for a little bit, but I will be back. You guys can't get rid of me that easily. I'm like a rash. I just keep coming back. But in the meantime, I'm actually planning on taking a hiatus from most platforms. Because once the baby gets here, my daughter, I ended up disappearing for 6 months. I promise I'm probably not going to do that with this one. But I like to spend as much personal time as I can with my kiddos. And so I like to avoid the social medias. But for those of you that are hoping to keep up with me, literally Google my name or ACF Creations. And if you guys want to support me while I'm off doing things, I got a book and stuff out. So
yes, and we should play the commercial for Keisha's book. All right.
it's about murder.
Murder and puppies, last time I remember.
Yes. The puppy does not get murdered. Nobody kills the puppy. The puppy is safe. But Willow, where can we find you?
All right, so you can find me all over social media, and you know what? I'm not going to apologize for the overly political stuff that I have been posting about lately because it is important. Growing up in this world, I was taught how to love and accept people, and we have a world full of hatred and animosity, and I'm getting tired of it. So if you are one of those people who like to read up on political stuff and, you know, and want to have a discussion with me nicely, you can find me all over social media.
On this show, we love everybody. Except for probably serial killers. Let's those ones, okay? But pretty much we love anybody.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe some of those too.
So yeah, that is mostly of my posts lately, is for sticking up for my friends and family, yeah, I'm not gonna apologize for the overly political rants that I've been
we love
putting
people,
up,
and we aren't happy with people not loving people. Okay.
Exactly. All right. So yeah, you can find me all over social media. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So yeah, follow me for more interesting information. And yeah, I'm also on the verge of being an meta influencer. So yay me. So yeah, follow me while I take on this journey of a new horizon, I guess. So you guys all have a great night, and thank you for joining us for Cryptid Crunch.
Bye.
Bye.